everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Why I Love BNI, your podcast spotlighting different members in different chapters on what they love about their business and being a part of the BNI family. So today I'm super excited to have my guest Amber with us today. Amber, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Of course. Well, I can't do a podcast about BNI without not talking to the BNI Queen, at least in our region, I want to say. Like Amber has gone above and beyond for, everyone in our chapter and just surrounding chapters, not even in the region, in all of Florida and all of the, country. So I'm super excited for her to come on, share some great tips. But first, Amber, why don't you talk just a little bit about the business you're in, and how you got started with it?
Yeah, thanks, Macy. I transitioned from one industry to the next about in 2017. I've been now with RyTech. I'll hit 8 years in March, on March 1st. And we just hit the company, RyTech. It's a water restoration company primarily, but we also do fire, mold, pack outs. I mean, we just help people in the state of an emergency get back to normal faster. And we started our company 30 years ago. So it is a business. The CEO and founder still runs the company to this day. So that's pretty exciting to have the CEO and founder still very, very involved in our everyday practice and work. But I'm very excited to talk about BNI today because I really say that BNI is my secret to success. So rewind 20 years ago, I was invited to BNI by Stefanie Robinson. She is our director in Northeast Florida and runs a tight ship and has always been very structured in how she does everything. And I really like that structure. One of the reasons why I love BNI is because of the structure. And my mom would beg to differ. But definitely when I told my mom 20 years ago that I was going to be going to a meeting every week that started at 7 a.m., she laughed at me. Because I was in my 20s and I was single and living on my own, and 7 a.m. was just not something that I was very used to. It was really, it helped me even when I was in my 20s, just realize that there is networking groups out there that can provide a lot of return on your investment. And that's what BNI did for me in my 20s. And here I am 20 years later. Just can't imagine my life without BNI. One of the fun facts people know about me is I met my husband in BNI. So I always make a joke that we did lots of one-to-ones. And definitely my favorite one-to-one. But I've met so many best friends in BNI and had some game-changing life things happen because of BNI. When I was a salesperson at Mint Magazine for 13 years, my last 3 years as a sales rep, I was number one in the country over 700 sales reps.
Wow.
And I was working in the smallest market, St. Augustine, Florida. So if you're watching this from another state, if you're not familiar with Florida, the oldest city in the United States is St. Augustine, Florida, and it's definitely a small city. And I was selling an incredible amount of advertising in a very small city, and people would always say, how do you do it? How do you sell $1.5 million in advertising in the smallest city? And I think it was like 1.4 my last year in revenue. And I mean, I was essentially selling a coupon magazine. Mint Magazine is a national magazine, but it was a very popular magazine, still is to this day. And now it's called Clip. And so to be selling that amount of advertising was really unheard of in this market. And everyone always said, how do you do it? What's your secret to success? And I basically, my answer, my question every single time was BNI. The power of giver's gain, helping others, connecting others, came back to me. It had reciprocal relationships that were undeniably the best thing that ever happened to my business. And truly helping others led to my success, which is that's such a cool thing, right? When you can put your head down at night and be like, yeah, I helped other people today. And by the way, it also helped me. Like it was just, it was biblical. I mean, do
Hmm.
unto others as you have them do unto you. So it was I mean, it's a no brainer. And yeah, I'm proud to be a part of the organization. If you ever want to do a one-to-one with me, reach out on the app. You know, if you don't know how to do that, it's very easy. You just go into BNI Connect. You can connect with members all over the country, all over the world. And, you know, it helps if they speak your same language. I do highly recommend the speed networking on Tuesdays,
Hmm.
because it's national. And a lot of times there's people in other countries that go on. My friend Barb met someone from Australia,
Right.
you know, just had a great, you know, interaction with someone from Australia. So you just never know who's going to be on there. But that's, I think, every Tuesday at 4:30, I think is the international speed networking or something. But
That's so cool. Yeah.
answer, but I definitely I just ramble when I talk about BNI. My husband swears I'm getting paid from BNI. I don't make any money from BNI. I wish I did. If I did, I'd probably be a lot more successful. I think I've sponsored over 75 people into BNI.
That's
So
insane. That's so beautiful and wonderful. And I know, especially in our chapter, you're always giving, most thank you for closed business or, most referrals or most things. Like, I know you've just done so much to aid our chapter and really be a part of its success, and help them, get their numbers up too. You're always helping. You're not even on leadership anymore, as far as I'm concerned, but you're just always reaching out, seeing how you can help people with their power of one or the traffic light system or palms or anything like that. And so it's so great to hear how enthusiastic you get. Before we hop off, I mean, you know so much when it comes to the technical part of BNI. So I'd love to know what's like a great tip or trick you have for any of the newer BNI members.
one of my favorite things to share with a new BNI member, and it's so fun to see their face when I show them this because they're like, you know, it's one of those like, this is amazing, is on the app. When you go to look at the members in your chapter, there is a really very easy way to save everybody from your chapter on your phone. And so you click on their name, and then right when you click on their name, so you go to the little like, what is that? Not an hourglass, but the magnifying glass. So you go to the magnifying glass, you click on that. That's when all your members come up. And then, like, if I click on you, Macy, your information comes up. There is a little icon that looks like this. I'll draw it for you. Um, it's like a, it's like a V with three dots. I don't know if you can,
Yeah.
but it's like basically connecting the dots. Okay. So it's like a little V with three dots. You click on that and you can immediately text that V card. So it's like to save your V card, which a V card means your contact card. So you can immediately send it to somebody. So say you're out and you're talking to somebody and I'm telling them about you and how you helped me start my podcast and how they need to talk to you and they need to start their own podcast. I can go click on Macy and then immediately text them your contact right then and there or save it to my own contacts. So I
Wow.
always tell a new member in your first 30 days, do 5 members a day, 10 members a day, and save everybody in your chapter on your phone. What I like about the when it saves them is it's saving not just them and their phone number, but it's saving their website. It's saving any information that they gave BNI when they enrolled, or if it's on your profile, it's all that saved. So like it's nice because then if I'm saving all the members in my phone that way, I'm also saving all of their information. So if I'm referring them and I share that contact card, I'm sharing what they want to be shared. And so I love that. That is such an easy thing to do. Another tip on the app that I love is searching for members. You can go and just hit worldwide search and just search if you want to meet plumbers, search plumbers in the state of Florida. If you want to meet, you know, anybody in your contact sphere that makes sense for you to connect with outside of your BNI chapter, you can literally search any of those contacts. So like if Macy, you really do well talking to people that do video
Hmm.
and photography and websites, you know, somebody that's trying to grow their business would benefit from both of you. you could search that category and search anybody in Orlando, Tampa, anywhere in Florida. You can put in the zip code and you can dial in. There's ways to like very specifically dial in on exactly where you want to find them, how you want to find them. So
Wow.
there's like a lot of really interesting
There's
stuff.
so many quick tips on the app. It's incredible. I feel like there's something new to learn every single day, even when you think you've learned everything.
Oh
There's
yeah,
more to learn. So, Amber, thank you so much for taking the time. I know this was a little bit short, but I really appreciate you taking the time, sharing your BNI story. It's so great to talk to someone so enthusiastic with so many great tips, like really great practical tips that I think I need to make sure I implement because I know there's a lot of new members joining our chapter that I need to reach out and save their contact as well. So, Amber, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
you're welcome. Have me back anytime.
Of course. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.